Day in Durban. It was attended by about 400 plus delegates from the 5 Brics countries. The council had a very successful deliberation, and it started with an investor presentation trying to attract investment into South Africa, which had a number of speakers, including the Minister of Trade and Industry, the New Development Bank, the Presidential Special Envoys on Investment into South Africa. And then, of course, we went on to the various 9 working groups. The working groups are the engine of the council. They're made up, as you know, a lot of you are part of the Energy and Green Economy Working Group. The working groups are there to help with the policy, help to breach the business-to-business interface, the business-to-state interface between the Brics countries. And all in all, we probably have about close on to, I think, 300 participants in the 9 working groups. They vary from agribusiness, energy, financial services, to deregulation, digital economy, etc., etc. So those deliberations are then managed by consensus between firstly within each country and then by the 5 countries themselves. The final reports are then put together. Sometimes we have MOUs signed in specific areas for the working groups. They are then included in the Council Annual Report. The Council Annual Report is made up of deliberations between the 25 Council members. The 5 Council members are all appointed by the governments of the countries, and the Brics Business Council is very unusual compared to all other business councils. It is a government-initiated and a government-founded body, and the appointments on the councils are done by the respective governments in association with the various chambers in the various countries. So the weight which the council carries is very substantial in terms of its deliberations with the heads of state. So we have completed the annual report. The annual report's findings and key recommendations are published in a report and signed off by the 5 council chairs. Included in the annual report are the 9 working group outcomes as well, reports. Sometimes we have not completed all of those, and there's always a disclaimer that these will be taken to the midterm meeting of the Brics Business Council. We then, tomorrow at the Business Forum, I hope to see most of you, but at the Business Forum, we'll present firstly the position of business in relation to the Business Council to about 1,000 people, which includes business people, but also lots of political people. We'll then meet with the heads of state and have presentations from the heads of states in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, the 25-member council will meet with the 5 heads of state to formally hand over the annual report and to give the key recommendations which are in the annual report. So this has been a very busy time for all of us, you can imagine. The council meeting is the culmination. It's really, in effect, the annual general meeting, if you like, of the Brics Business Council. But we have, as I said earlier, the deliberations in Durban were very successful. It's always a tradition in terms of Brics that the Business Council is hosted in a separate city from the summit, and then we come together to meet the heads of state. So we've kept up that tradition. In Shanghai, we had the Business Council meeting. Xiamen, we had the summit meeting. In India, we had it in Delhi and then Goa. And similarly in Russia, it was in Moscow and Ufa. And Brazil, it was Sao Paulo and Fortaleza. So we tend to keep up with that. South Africa, of course, is hosting the Brics Business Council for the second time. The Business Council was started in South Africa in 2013, and it has grown substantially. One of the key projects that emerged out of the Business Council was the New Development Bank. It's one of the key initiatives. We're looking at the rating agencies now, credit rating agencies, national payment systems, and a whole host of other major initiatives which will impact on the BRICS countries. I'm sure you all know the statistics of the BRICS countries, so I'm not going to bore you with any of that. But in brief, that's really what the deliberations have been about over the last while. It's great to see all of you. Thank you for participating in this Energy Summit of the BRICS Business Council. And it's wonderful to see the deliberations. I look forward to hearing from Brian some of the key outcomes of today and some of the suggestions which we can hopefully incorporate into our key discussions with the Business Forum tomorrow and the heads of state tomorrow and on Thursday. So with that, I want to say thank you, wish you well for the conference, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to close this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Survi. Ladies and gentlemen, I trust that you will agree with me that the deliberations, discussions, and perspectives shared today have been insightful and profound. And in this regard, I wish to express my sincere appreciation and on behalf of the Energy and the Green Energy Working Group to the plenary speakers, facilitators, and panelists for openly and graciously sharing their insights and expertise with us. At the start of the day's proceedings, we gained insight into the BRICS initiatives that are underway and, more importantly, the progress being made in the different work streams. An important question was posed around how we can unlock domestic and offshore investment opportunities as part of the 100 billion rand investment program. Today's discussions highlighted several opportunities and challenges which in themselves present opportunities. We have heard about global trends and specifically those in BRICS countries around energy developments, deployment of new environmentally sustainable technologies, and cutting-edge innovations being unfolded in developing and developed nations. Across all discussions, the issues of energy policy have continually emerged with several facets: the strengthening of the business voice and participation in energy policy evolution, the content of energy policy and the outcomes of energy policy around certainty, decision-making, and rollout. Policy needs to be agile and take the integrated nature of the sector into consideration. The creation of an enabling environment for the energy transition seems to still be based on traditional factors such as policy and regulatory certainty, guaranteed investment and returns, low costs. So the challenge of enabling a resilient environment remains the adaptation of these traditional factors to a trajectory of transformation and change. In South Africa, the role of Eskom as a key player in the transitionary energy environment was highlighted not only for grid stability and power dispatchability, but for their role in new technology deployment and policy development. The ability to serve customers and meet their needs remains at the hub of the sector. It is imperative to question what the customer of the future will be, the future of energy growth, and what the customer actually wants. Is it electricity or services and products that just happen to be powered by electricity? There are some key imperatives that need to be considered as the transition is progressed. What are the building blocks for us to get ready for the fourth industrial revolution? We need to look at this from the perspectives of adaptability, but also in terms of agility and resilience. The Brazilian example of hydro in the Amazon, the consideration that the grid for 4.0 is not the grid as we know it today. Skills development and the remodeling or upgrade of the education value chain is a key driver of change and transition, but the progress in unfolding this still remains a concern. The balancing of the energy trilemma of security, access, and environmental sustainability still remains a strong goal, but the opportunities presented by the energy transition and the fourth industrial revolution must be considered as a potential solution for the trilemma. We need to leverage regional markets and supply chains in order to maximize resources and efficiencies. Innovation and not R&D is needed, especially in skills development and taking this innovation to market. What has continuously been integrated here today is that change is imminent. We are already in the transition, and what remains is how we rise to embrace this to support the key national imperatives of growth, job creation, and poverty alleviation. So, to conclude with the words of Socrates, the secret of change is to focus your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Once again, please don't forget the cocktail event. There is going to be a little bit of a break in between while the setup is organized. So at around 5 o'clock, we will start with the cocktail event, and we hope to see all of you there. In any event, the Sandton traffic is so hectic, it makes no sense for you to leave now. You might as well stay back, enjoy some good food, good entertainment, and a few drinks as part of the today's proceedings. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you at the cocktail event.